somewhere around 80% of the population in the US believes that the financial system needs to be updated.
Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. In today's video, we're going to be diving down the rabbit hole, discussing and talking about crypto's integration with artificial intelligence, hearing some video clips and some panel discussions from some industry-leading experts, confirming some of the things that we've been trying to get people to pay attention to. So if you all enjoy these deep dives, these video breakdowns, do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to the platform. It does help boost the algorithm and push these videos out to more individuals like yourselves. Stick around for the entirety of this video breakdown. Lots of valuable information that we've been trying to show you all for the longest time now. So with that being said, before we get into the video clips, I want to show you all one of the most phenomenal call outs that we've made in the private CYPRX community. And this just goes to show, again, I'm not sitting here trying to brag or boast or make you all feel bad if you missed out on this opportunity, but this just goes to show the valuable information and education that we provide here at CYPRX ahead of the curve to hopefully get you all to tap in and start to pay attention to what we've been trying to tell people you should be educating yourself on, which is artificial intelligence, Web3 technologies, digital assets like cryptocurrency, okay? We are in a fourth industrial transformation and there are massive opportunities in the now that we as manual retail investors can take advantage of. So let's just show some examples from our private CYPRX monthly membership program where individuals can subscribe to our Discord where we give delta zones, fundamental breakdowns, technical analysis callouts on multiple digital assets across the board. We're going to head back to June 2023 where I updated the private community and mentioned to them that I personally was going to be investing in artificial intelligence cryptocurrency assets like FET and AGIX. And you can see as of today, tracking all the way back from June 2023, where I had mentioned that to the private CYPRX members, FET has returned over 1,000%, and AGIX from the bottom of June 2023 has returned over 400%. This is why I've been attempting to explain to you all to do research on artificial intelligence, cryptocurrency assets, what type of cycle we are about to enter into, and what is happening behind the scenes. Again, this is not to brag or boast, and if you missed out on these two artificial intelligence cryptocurrency assets, don't FOMO in, don't think that you're going to miss out on other opportunities that are still available. Just start to do your research. Again, this information is pumped out to our private CYPRX monthly members on a daily and weekly basis where we give updated dollar cost average levels, updated technical analysis and fundamental breakdowns, and updated delta zones, along with all of our in-depth crypto-related research. So if you all want to join our private monthly membership or enroll in our course material, i.e. our mentorship program, visit CYPRXtrading.com. We would love to have you on the team. This just goes to show that the membership in the course material literally pays for itself. Anybody that would have invested $1,000 into these projects in our private community back when we had first mentioned it would be up on FET, $1,000 invested back in June 2023, over $10,000. On AGIX, the $1,000 invested back in June 2023 would be well worth over $5,000. That just goes to show the power, the value, and the amount of education that we provide here via the opportunities that are readily available to each and every single person, so you choose to take advantage of them. Now, let's get into the in-depth video breakdown. We're going to be discussing and first talking about AI's transformative potential, right? We've mentioned in previous video breakdowns that individuals, organizations, large financial institutions are going to need to either adapt or get left behind. So do y'all remember this flip the switch narrative that a whole bunch of influencers were throwing around? Well, we're not making this stuff up, people. The switch has been flipped. Okay, listen, remember we've been talking about how those that adapt and migrate over to this new digital transformation way of doing things and actually adopt artificial intelligence and this digital transformation will be the ones that benefit. Okay, this is the freaking CEO of a century. Listen to what she says at Davos. Okay, this is the information that's being pumped out, but nobody's paying attention to this stuff. Pay attention to what they say.
In order to not be afraid, you have to know more about this technology than you've ever had to know about technology, because you didn't have responsible PC, you didn't have responsible cloud. And in 3 decades, I've never stood in front of a client and been able to say, this technology will change everything about your business positively if you do it right.
I mean, think if you're the CEO, and I remember the day we started talking about ChatGPT. It was like you would flip the switch, and like these CEOs, the day before, never said AI or it was something off in the future. Suddenly it's here and now, and you better be up to speed or you're going to lose. Right?
Yeah.
You better be up to speed or you're going to lose. Pay attention to detail as to what's going on, people. We've been trying to show you all the devil's in the details.
The thing you also have to realize is this: the ball's in your court. You need to either embrace it or left behind.
Now, we also know that in the future, cryptocurrency assets and AI will blend together, where eventually we will operate in an interoperable ecosystem where blockchain, cryptocurrencies running on these blockchain rails in this new Web3 economy will just be part of the backend system. It won't even seem like it exists. To us in the know, in the now, yes, there is a massive transformation ongoing, and there's all this hype around cryptocurrency and whatnot. But once we enter into a utility phase where these digital assets are actually being utilized and implemented along with these artificial intelligence programs and whatnot into the back-end infrastructure, it's not going to be so hypey all the time. And you have heard multiple high-end representatives talk about this in previous video breakdowns.
To answer your question, I fundamentally believe that there are 2 major revolutions taking place in technology: distributed computing, Web3 crypto, and then machine learning, AI.
The other really important, I think, asset of merging AI with crypto and different ledgers is the transparency and auditability of any algorithm that's on a blockchain or kind of within a blockchain's ecosystem. I think that is probably one of the biggest missing pieces within the current kind of AI ecosystem as it stands. And I think it's to the point I was making earlier in terms of being a little bit optimistic about where this is headed. I think it's just a matter of time before we start to have robust, kind of user-friendly AI applications that are embedded pretty deeply within a blockchain. AI applications that are embedded pretty deeply within a blockchain.
But just seeing that mindset shift from the talent side of things, where people are like more interested in coming to the space and building real solutions for end users, coupled with rollups, account abstraction, other improvements we'll see this year. I think there are a ton of use cases that we've been talking about for a really long time, from like 2017 ICOs that will finally come to market in the near future. And hopefully people will be interacting on chain without necessarily knowing that they're using crypto at all.
Just like if you go and tap your Visa card at a Starbucks to pay for your coffee, you don't really understand or even care about the transaction process that happens on the back end. Well, that whole entire back end infrastructure right now is being flip-flopped. It's being changed. It's being migrated from the old world to the new world. So please, again, pay attention. Yes, we're still in a speculative environment. Yes, this class right now, this whole asset class is still new. It's still brand new. It's sketchy, right? At the end of the day, if you don't know what you're doing, you could lose money. But I'm telling you all right now, just do your research. Tap into a community like ours that does their research, and there are so many opportunities to be made. Now, we're also going to confirm that artificial intelligence is going to be utilizing cryptocurrency assets in the future.
Right. I look forward to 24, 25. How do we use programmable money? Who's going to be using it? To me, the obvious answer is AI, right? Nobody's going to give AI a bank account, but it's going to be using crypto.
The stuff that we have available in crypto is going to be really valuable in giving people the confidence to transact, or whatever we want to call it, with these AIs in areas like health, finance.
And then another thing that we've talked about in previous video breakdowns is why mass adoption hasn't happened yet. It is still hard for the every average day person, the individual user, to onboard into the space without having to go through some lengthy onboarding process like watching YouTube video breakdowns, so that way you don't lose a large amount of money. How to cold storage your crypto, how to download an application and actually buy and sell these digital assets and whatnot. That process is still clinky. It is still hard to onboard into the space, not only for individual users, but also for large financial institutions and major organizations. That is all set to change.
Marquee clients is the crypto and blockchain aspect of it specifically. Is that because yes, we're all in this industry. We've been in this industry, and we understand the jargons, whatever it may be. But when you go talk to, let's say, my grandmother, who's an older lady, etc., she's not really going to understand what the hell a wallet is. Of course, we have like things like account abstraction coming in and ZKs and all this stuff. But at face value, they really don't understand that technology at all. And humans, as just intrinsic nature, are resistant to change and will be, because that's our biology at the end of the day, right? You always fear what you don't know. So are we ready? I think there's going to be more trust that's needed from the larger non-crypto audience, and that's only going to come with institutions, right? Over time, as you see, like I know we're not supposed to talk about pricing and stuff, but what's happening in the last couple of weeks and months with like ETFs, and you see larger institutions starting to use crypto at a certain level, you will start to see the masses then move to that as well.
Another thing that these video breakdowns are going to confirm is that we are still in the early days. You've heard so many large market participants compare what phase we are in right now in the crypto sphere to the early days of the internet.
This is still a very nascent technology and a nascent industry. Even though we've built a sizable business, the amount of activity that's ahead is extraordinary, right? I think the market for electronic money, the market for the kind of payment systems in the world, and the way in which that's going to be absorbed by an internet financial system is extraordinary. So I actually feel like we're kind of at the starting line now.
Transact, or when do you think that happens?
I think so. So if you think about where we are today, a lot of the technology that we, like digital currencies, stablecoins, blockchains, digital wallets, all this stuff, as you probably know, being active in the space, right, still complex. There's still, you need to know too much, it's too confusing. And so the key thing that's happening right now is there are huge improvements being made in what I'll just broadly call blockchain infrastructure. It's sort of like when we went from dial-up internet, which was a pain in the butt and was complex and it was slow, to broadband internet with like mobile devices, right? Then all of a sudden, like gazillions of apps grew, the user experience got really good, and the complexity of the internet went into the background. So over the next 1 to 2 years, the complexity of blockchain and crypto wallets and all this, it's going to go into the background.
If that alone, in a nutshell, doesn't show you the massive amount of future growth potential that we are set to experience as early adopters, as long as we get into the right projects and invest wisely while assessing our risk properly, there is so much opportunity still ahead. So don't feel like just because I showed you 1,000% gains on FET or 400% gains that we caught here at CYPRX, that you're missing out on some massive opportunity where the train has already left the station. We are just getting started, ladies and gentlemen. This is only a $2 trillion market cap in the digital asset space that is set to expand to 10, 20, 30 trillion dollars in the future. Again, this is not going to be some overnight get-rich schematic. Think about it. 1,000% returns back, we mentioned on June entering into FET, right? 2023. That was almost a year ago. So think about anybody on the X space who might have flooded FET back in June 2023 when prices were down or on a decline, compared to where their mindset is at now. Nowhere to be found, have no long-term investing potential because they don't understand that this is a long-term game. Yes, now looking back, it only took a couple months, but investing in the FET back then, I myself was a little skeptical. I even said in the message that I sent to the CYPRX private members, I am willing to lose any money that I have invested into this space, and I'm okay with that. You as an individual investor need to understand what opportunities are available to you in the now. We've been trying to show people this information again. The information, all of this is readily available to any individual that seeks to find it. There is a massive transformation going on. Crypto, artificial intelligence, Web3, digital identity, carbon credits, these are all things that you as an individual should be researching because we are in a fourth industrial revolution. With that being said, I hope that you all enjoyed this video breakdown. I hope it gave you guys a little bit more of a clear perspective as to why mass adoption hasn't really taken place, that the next billion users is coming.
So when I look at what's happening with blockchain tech, I look at it very similar, which is basically we've gone through this cycle of like raw early technology to an overhyped cycle to now it's like I would say we're in like the 2002 of the internet, where all of a sudden the broadband pipes are getting laid down. All of a sudden the software that makes the experience of the internet far, far better is coming online. That's where we are with this. And so essentially you need legal certainty. So you need legal certainty on how these are treated and how they're used. That's happening. You need scalability, so you need infrastructure that can readily support, both from a user experience perspective and a raw throughput perspective, the kinds of things where you can do internet scale things. That's happening right now. And then you need a free market environment where you've got entrepreneurs and developers and other things building. And I think that has happened, and I think we're going to see another pretty significant wave of invested capital into people building on this now that we've kind of, I think we're clearing away some of the debris, as it were. So I think my view is that that kind of mainstream catalyst and the experiences around those are really right in front of us, and we'll see over the next 3 to 5 years that sort of scaling out to where literally 1 billion or 2 billion plus people are interacting with this on a regular basis.
Tell me about what you're most excited when it comes to use cases and applications, because ultimately we're building all this so billions of people can use this technology in the future. So
how do we unite the crypto tribes with the open source AI people? And let me back up first and talk about why this is important, right? I think AI has something incredible to offer the crypto community, and that is a really easy user interface, right? AI is so intuitive. You just chat, tell the machine what you want to do, it understands what you're trying to accomplish, lines it up for you, and you can push one button. So I sincerely believe that AI is how crypto gets to the first billion users, right? I think back to like 1998. Who here was around in 98 and used Google for the first time, right? That was transformative, right? If you remember the web before Google, it was janky, right? It was hard to use. It was very technical. You're like navigating directories, typing in IP addresses, right? It wasn't easy, right? And so 1998, there were only 100 million users of the web, right? Google shows up, takes away all the technical barriers. You've now got this magic box. You just tell it what you want. I want to see a sports website. It curates the entire internet and gave you the best option, right? That's how the internet got to 1 billion users, right? You have to remove all the technical barriers for people and make it easy for everyone to access. That's where we are in crypto today, right? It's 1998. It's not easy to use. There are a few 100 million people using it, but it has value to offer to billions of people, right? So that's where I think we're at. AI is going to come in and make it so easy to use crypto. Now,
and that right now we are still in the early stages. You need to zoom out, have a long-term perspective, invest wisely, assess your risk properly, and do research. If you all are interested in joining our private monthly membership program or our course material where we provide mentorship, then consider visiting CYPRXtrading.com. We would love to have any motivated individuals on the team join our private community. We're looking for inspired individuals that are seriously looking to elevate their trading and investing career. Many blessings to you guys. If you enjoyed this video breakdown, always piecing together the realest information that the internet can provide. Again, as an average retail investor, think about it. Nobody is watching these video breakdowns. If you go look at all of the panel discussions that I just showed you on today's video breakdown, you're going to see 14 views, 20 views, 100 views. Here at CYPRX, we're painfully watching these video breakdowns to pick apart 20 to 30 second video clips that are absolutely essential for our future survival as manual retail investors in this space as early adopters. So do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the platform. We do appreciate the love and the support, and I will see you all in the next video breakdown.
But that's what crypto has been trying to sell for quite some time now. And I think most people, if they're honest in the room, who were really faithful on the promise of crypto just 5-6 years ago, would have thought that by today the stuff would have been more widely adopted than it is. And one of the reasons for that might be that a lot of folks maybe just don't find the idea of owning their assets on a blockchain as appealing as folks in the industry might make it seem. Is that something that's going to be a stumbling block for AI too? That you just laid out the argument for medical data and medical information being ported over to this technology, but what evidence is there necessarily to suggest that the wider public that obviously needs to get on board for wide adoption are going to find that appealing?
Well, I guess the way I would answer that is I think AI at some level is going to be sort of built in and integrated in the background. It already is at some levels. Maybe that's more broadly defined as machine learning, but it's already getting integrated and built into so many things. I think on something like as specific as healthcare, like if you know that you are able to potentially identify a disease early on or extend your lifespan by a certain number of years by participating in some of this, I think that's going to be a pretty powerful motivator. And obviously those are some of the promises and potentiality that AI represents. I think the point that I thought Fred made earlier and was really smart, is this idea that that crypto could actually help you get the benefits of that without necessarily having to give away information about your identity that could be tracked back to you. And so I do think that crypto ends up helping to solve for some of the big problems that AI is going to create in those types of worlds. I'm out in the Bay Area, I'm in San Francisco, which is really the epicenter of a lot of the AI development. I spend a lot of time with that community, as does Fred. And when you are talking with that community, they certainly look at crypto, blockchain, particularly blockchain ledgers, as being an important unlock and an important part of what's going to be part of AI. So I would say the folks who are actually in the space think a lot about this.
Where you and Broadbridge, are you seeing the move to DLT-based platforms occur?
Yeah, I think it is. It's funny because with sort of the implosion of the crypto market last year, I think the general public is sort of thinking like, oh, well, this stuff is going away. Mm-hmm. And when you talk to people in the know in financial services, it's like, no, it's not going away. It's very real.